What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review with Daniel Richardson. And yes, tonight, the big movie we're going to be reviewing is A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's the movie that literally built New Line Cinema. You know, the house that Freddie built. Well, here's the movie that did it right here. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's go right into our weekly show. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody out there. And yeah, and what better way to do it than to tell a love story between Freddy Krueger and Nancy. There it is. Alright, so let's do this. So right off the bat, a little bit of news. This one I freaking love. I don't know, it's brilliant. So apparently, Sylvester Stallone has written the story for another Expendables adventure. Unfortunately, or I mean maybe fortunately, depending on I guess who you ask, it's not going to be a movie, it's going to be a comic book series. Now, the reason why I'm bringing it up on this show that focuses solely on horror movies is because apparently the storyline is going to be, or the title is, The Expendables Go To Hell. I'm not making this up. So, as you know, they're all mercenaries, and guess what? It just catches up to them, they do one job, and boom, they all get wiped out. And of course, they're bad people because they're mercenaries. They've been killing people, you know, for money. So guess what? Not going to heaven, you're going right to hell. And so it just starts off, I guess they're in hell, and basically, I don't know, they're fighting, like there's different little snapshots of them fighting like Hitler, Bin Laden. There's like these giant like fucking elephant things that run through them. There's like 300 or some shit. Like it looks like insane bonkers. And I fucking love it. Like I think that is great. Like that is the next logical step. Maybe it's not logical. Maybe it's an illogical leap. But guess what? I'm fucking taking it and I love it. I like the Expendables series. They're not great by any stretch of the imagination. They've been done better by the movies that these actors have done back in the 80s. But it's just kind of like an all-star game, you know? It's just like, it is what it is. But it's fun seeing all these action icons from the 80s and 90s come together under one roof, so to speak. And I've never even seen part 3. That's how much of a poser I am. I think the first 2 are good, but I've never seen the third one. But it's like, if you're going to do another one, why not just do something ridiculous like this? Like, blend the genres a little bit. It worked for Schwarzenegger and Predator. You know, they're like, it's an action movie, but there's a giant alien that, you know, is hunting them. It's like, oh shit, that came out of nowhere. Okay, let's do it. And it works. And I remember, I may have the monster wrong, and if I am, correct me please, I don't remember, but I remember like a while back ago, before the newest Rambo movie came out, which is entitled Rambo The Last Blood, apparently, though, there was a script or something going around where Stallone himself pitched it. Like, it wasn't even like someone, like a fan guy just put together. But it was almost like Rambo versus like a werewolf or some shit. Like, I'm not making this up. It was something that insane. And like, Stallone was down for it, but like, no producer wanted to touch it. And it's just like, wow, it seems like Stallone does kind of have this soft spot for horror. Or at least action horror, at the very least. And it's like, why has he not done any of these? Like, I can't think of a single instance where Stallone actually did like a horror-type movie. I mean, if you have, I know he's done some straight-to-video shit, so if you remember, let me know. But yeah, it's like, there you go. So, I don't know. I just feel like, hopefully this Expendables Go To Hell blows the fuck up, and then they're like, oh shit, let's capitalize on it and make a movie. Because why not, at this point? Why? And the great thing is, you're killing the whole cast off. So then, like, if people don't want to come back, it's like, no problem. They're dead. They're already in hell, so... I don't know if there's anything beyond that, like if they're trying to escape hell or, you know, whatever. Once again, we're still in the early stages, but apparently, like, no one really wanted to touch this one either. This was actually being funded by, like, a Kickstarter program. Like, literally, that's how the... But, I mean, I guess they've already reached their goal and then some. Like, I'm just going to throw a number. I'm making up a number, but say if it's, like, you know, 5,000 to do it. They're already at, like, 25,000. I mean, they superseded this thing, you know, ridiculous. So anyways, there it is. Of course, it's Valentine's Day, and the anthology horror series Into the Dark over on Hulu has released their newest movie. I call them movies. I know it's like classified as a TV show, but they're fucking movies. My Valentine. Have not seen it yet. Into the Dark, man. It's such a mixed bag. that it's hard for me to get really excited. And this is the first time I actually watched a trailer of it, because I usually just go into it completely blind. But I was like, let's check out this trailer. And I really wish I had, because it just looks really bad. By the time this video comes out, people probably have already seen it. And if you have, let me know what you think about it down there. The gist of it pretty much is a skeezy fucking music producer who breaks up with his pop star girlfriend. He no longer represents her, and then he gets another pop star and makes her look exactly like her and just copies everything. And then apparently the two girls get mad at each other, but I'm sure it's going to wind up that they end up pairing up together and taking down the skeezy producer, because that's what you do. And yeah, I don't know, it just looks like shit. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're turning away from that, though. It just seems like out of all the Into the Dark episodes they've done so far, man, like maybe 3 were really good. Okay, I'm being generous. 3 were good, but it's just like the rest of them were just garbage and shit. But they're not like shying away from it. They're just like embracing the shit. Like the only ones I really liked, I thought the Thanksgiving one in season 2 was pretty good. Pilgrim, I thought that was really good. I like Puka, the Christmas one from a long time ago. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. Is that it? Was that all that was really good? Yeah. This is clearly like a millennial horror series, though. Like, you could just tell it's very much this generation doing it. So, oh no, I like the Culture Shock. I thought that was a damn good one. That's probably my favorite one, actually, because it was just so bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this one, but it is what it is. But that's all something I am looking forward to, though. This past week they dropped the trailer for Spiral. From the Book of Saw, which I think is fucking brilliant. So we've heard for a long time now that Chris Rock was going to produce it. I thought for some reason he was writing and directing as well, but I guess he's just producing it. Maybe he co-wrote it too. I don't know. But anyways, but he's starring in it. And it's just like, who would have thought Chris Rock would have been like a Saw fan? Like, it's such an odd franchise for him but it's a franchise that's pretty much been dead in the water, unfortunately, because I feel like it's never really run out of steam, at least for me. I guess the general public's kind of grown tired of it, and it is one of those movies that you can be like, yeah, they're all the same, and they kind of are, but I'm a horror nerd, so I can be like, well, technically, here's how Part 5 is different from Part 6, but, they did 7, which were, like, cranked out one after another, and then they just stopped for, like, a long time, and then they busted out Jigsaw. And when the fuck was that? 2015, maybe? 14? I don't remember. It's a little while ago. And I was like, all right, the reboot. Because it kept prompting as a reboot. And it really was a sequel, but I mean, they were kind of launch padding a new, Jigsaw, if you will. And it didn't go nowhere. And I was really disappointed because I thought the way the last chapter ended, Part 7, I thought it ended very good. Where so many different stories you can tell from that. Spoiler alert, because you should have already fucking seen it. The last chapter ends where, Lawrence Gordon, the guy from Part 1, is like with a cult of Jigsaw guys, like all in the hoods. I mean, I say guy, it could be, mixed company, maybe guys and gals, who knows. But either way, there's like a cult of them now. And I was like, oh shit, like now they're going to go across America and just like dispense, moral justice in brutal ways. And that's the movie I always thought we were going to get. And it ended. And then when Jigsaw happens, I won't spoil this one, because maybe you haven't seen it, even though you should have, and we're definitely past where it's okay to spoil shit. It ends the same way, where it's like you got this new guy kind of taking over the Jigsaw thing, and it fits with the previous one. So then I was like, okay, you can still even bring back the cult, if you will. But it just stopped, and I was like, fuck. And I'm like, these movies are cheap to make. Like, I don't see why Lionsgate is dragging their feet, because it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, just get the Blumhouse. Blumhouse will take it. They'll do it. I mean, literally, you can just pump it out for a couple million, and you're going to gross $20 million opening weekend, guaranteed. Guaranteed. And here, I don't think we're going to have any problem. They got themselves a nice prime May spot. Like, we're going, I don't know if it's Memorial Day weekend or not, but they're like, fuck it, we're going into blockbuster territory here. But you got Chris Rock and Sam Jackson, which, once again, you got two guys that are name stars, recognizable, actors in a horror film. It's going to work. That's actually part 9 of a horror series. Call it a spinoff, call it a reboot, call it a reset, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the ninth Saw movie. So it's like part 9, and we're busting out the big guns here. That's pretty awesome. A lot of people have noticed, and I mean, I agree, it kind of draws a lot on, like, at least this look of it has a look of like Seven, David Fincher's movie, the Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. And also, it very reminiscent of that because you got an old cop and a young cop. And same thing here, Chris Rock's the veteran cop, and then you got some young guy, which I don't even know who that guy is. I feel bad for him because he's clearly the third lead. Like, it's clearly Rock, Jackson, and this guy, and I couldn't even tell you this dude's name, and I could even said it. It's on the poster, and I don't even know it. But then Sam Jackson, which I think is a cop, I think I read that, but in the trailer you wouldn't know that, because literally it's just him like, you want to play games, motherfucker? And I'm like, yes! He dropped a motherfucker in the trailer. I love it. Snakes on a plane, bitch. Snakes on a plane. Anyways, yeah, so it comes out in May. I'm fucking pumped for it. I can't wait to see a new take, a new chapter. It's fresh. You know, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these old, dead franchises, Friday the 13th excluded because we know there's legal issues there, but everything else that hasn't been made, it's like, why are they not doing it? Just do another movie. Just pump it out. We don't care. I want to see it. And that's one thing I really did like about, say what you want about the franchises themselves, but Paranormal Activity and Saw, they were cranking them out every year. And so if you're a fan, great. If not, fuck off. But it's like, we don't have a whole lot of horror franchises doing that. And so it is glad to see when certain ones come back and do it. But yeah, I'm definitely pumped for this. Shifting gears now to some video game news. There is a new game coming out. It's going to be on Steam. I'm not a gamer, so that's over my head. But apparently it's called Dead Static Driver. Now here's what they, the cross. You always get these crossover statements where they're like, it's this meets this. And here's what they said. It's GTA crossed over with H.P. Lovecraft. I've seen some footage. The graphics are not near on the level of GTA, but, it's an indie company, so, give them a little bit of credit, or, a little bit of slack here. The Lovecraft thing, there are a couple other creatures they showed at the end, which I will get in the past. But then, early on, it's just these tentacle creatures that comes out of the ground, which, yeah, sure, Lovecraftian, but to me it's just like Tremors. That looks like fucking Tremors. And then I'm gonna watch the trailer. Now, once again, the other creature don't show up till the end of the trailer, but up until this point, all you're seeing are these graboids pop out, or sandworms, or what have you, but they're popping out of the ground. And it seems like, I don't know what the story is, and there wasn't really a whole lot of cutscenes. It just looks like you're running around looking for items, but you gotta be careful because something pops out of the ground at you. And I'm like, can we just do a Tremors game? And I'm like, why haven't we had a Tremors video game yet? Like, seriously, this seems like the perfect type of game. You gotta be stealthy, you gotta be quiet. That's puzzle solving because you have to figure out how to get to this point to that point without making a whole lot of noise. That seems like the perfect basis for a video game. I don't know. Have fun with your Lovecraft GTA crossover, but I would want to see Tremors. Just saying. I want to play Kevin Bacon in that bitch. And then finally, of course, it's been announced a while back ago that they were going to start working. I believe they're doing it through Blumhouse as well, because they're snatching up everything right now. They're going to be doing another Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. God damn. Really? And then they're like, we're going to connect it to the first one like that fucking matters anymore. That's the thing that I think is just a bigger kick in the nuts, because they're just like, it's going to be a reboot, we're going to connect it. It's like, no, it's not a reboot, it's a fucking sequel. That's a sequel. When you connect it to the first one, it's the next chapter. It's not a reboot, it's a sequel. Fuckers. Anyways, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just laughable only because, like, take every movie they've done. How have they done? Like 8 so far? Yeah? 8? That's insane. Even within them, there's so many reboots or restarts or whatever throughout. And it's like, so you got part 1, 2, and 3, which those feel like a trilogy. But then part 4, depending on who you talk to, it's either a sequel, which it fits in as a part 4, but then some people are like, oh no, it's actually a remake, which it kind of works as a remake in a sense. And then some people are even like, no, it's actually what should have been the original sequel to part 1, which is another thing that irritates me about all these reboots. They're like, oh no, we're just going to connect to part 1 only and drop the entire mythology behind it, whatever. Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't really that sacred to me. 1's the best, so fuck it. Even though I do love me some Next Generation, that or New Generation, love it. Like, just fucking awesome. That was Next Generation. It's Next Generation. Yeah, McConaughey fucking rules that movie. Anyways, so then after that, we go radio silence for a little bit, and then reboots are big, so then we remake Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it is standalone. It doesn't try to reconnect to the first one or sneak in like a backdoor sequel. It's a legit remake, and then we get the prequel to that, and then radio silence again for like, I don't know, seven years, is that it? I don't know. And then they do Texas Chainsaw, or Texas Chainsaw 3D, depending which DVD you bought, I guess. Anyways, in 2013, which was supposed to be a direct sequel to Part 1, again, and then they do a prequel called Leatherface after that. And I'm guessing a prequel to the first one has to be, so it's like its almost standalone trilogy, but now we're doing another remake yet again. And at this point, it's just getting ridiculous. And I forget the dude's name. He's the guy who directed Evil Dead. He's Hispanic. Fede Alvarez, is that it? Am I saying this correctly? Anybody help me? Comment, please. Help this guy out. I don't want to appear, insensitive or racist on here. I don't know the guy's name. I think it's something like that, though. But he also did, like, a Don't Breathe. And he's worked closely with Sam Raimi quite a bit. I don't think Sam Raimi has any connection, because he's going to be busy doing Multiverse, apparently. But, the Doctor Strange sequel, man, we'll get to that a different day, maybe. But anyways, but he's doing this one. He's only producing. He's not writing or directing it, which kind of worries me, because I was like, he's a decent director. I want a verse to direct it, I guess. I guess when you produce it, you can just kind of not take blame for when it fails. You can just be like, well, I mean, I wasn't directing it. If I was directing it, it would have been a good movie, but I'm only producing it, so. But anyways, he's like, oh, this movie's going to be great. It's going to be scarier than the original. And I think he used the phrase, like, it's going to be so depraved. And I'm like, holy shit, this dude's really building it up right now. Doesn't mean it's going to deliver or whatever, but you know what? He's building it up. And once again, like my displeasure for Halloween, like I mentioned before, I'm just not big on new Halloween kills. I can care less, but I will see it because I'm a Halloween fan. And I feel like same thing with Texas Chainsaw. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, just by itself, forget any of the movies after that, is enough to get me to come back for a sequel no matter what, or a remake or, what have you. So I'll be there. I'll be there opening night with my popcorn, watching it, thinking, wow, what piece of shit. But I'll be there nonetheless. So there you guys go. That's the news for this week. Let's now move on to, we got the Villain Showdown. The Villain fucking Showdown. All right. So, a couple weeks ago, the matchup was Annie Wilkes versus Jason Voorhees, which I would assume we're getting a lot of upsets here. We're getting a lot of people I would expect to move on. But we do. We got a move on here. Annie Wilkes wins, barely edged out the competition. But of all the little stories and side things I read about it, I think my favorite one, was a ridiculous one, but my favorite one nonetheless, is that how Annie defeated Jason was she just starts trash talking him. I don't know if she's on the local news or whatever, but she's got the mic and she's just like, listen to her, motherfucker, like, you ain't shit, you're phony, you're fake, you kill all these kids, you're not impressing me, what pussy does it behind a hockey mask, you want something, come get some. Lures him into a trap, and Jason knows it's a trap, but he's like, fuck it, I got a kill boner, so I got to take her out. And so he shows up, and she pops out, and he, chops her head off. Turns out, nope, cyborg. It's like, wait, what? Turns out, nope, cyborg. And then while he's distracted on that, boom, she pops up, lops the head off. Annie Wilkes is your winner. Most ridiculous story, but I loved it. I would pay to see that. That's a movie I would pay to see. And I would not be upset at the ending. Or the fact that she can somehow build robots now. I'm okay with that. I'm literally okay with that. So, yeah, Annie Wilkes, boom. Love it. So, moves on to the next round. Moves on to the quarterfinals. So, this week, the next two, we got Chucky going up against Jigsaw. Very unique pairing here. Let's look at them both. We got Chucky. Of course, he's from the Child's Play series. Whichever version you want to use is fine with me. I can care less. This is a very loose and free formatting show, so, whatever you want to do. But, he does have, 7, 8 movies. See, Child's Play 1, 2, and 3, Bride, Seed, Curse, Cult, 7. And then the 8th one is the remake, which I enjoyed. Everybody shit on it. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. A different take. It's okay to like both movies, people. That's what I hate about horror fans. And I'm going to go on a little mini rant here, but I just hate horror fans are just like, it's not like the original, so fuck it. Well, then just quit watching new shit. Just sit there in your room and watch the same 10 movies over and over and get all excited about that and jerk off to that. It's okay to remake movies, and it's okay to make them different. That's what a remake is. I hate carbon copy. You know what? Just watch Psycho, the '98 version. Just fucking keep watching that. Why? Why would you be mad about that? It's the same thing. You'd be upset they changed it, so what's the difference? Anyways, sorry, I'm getting on a tear here. So, Chucky, some strengths. Well, you can't keep the fucker down. No matter how many times you kill this dude, voodoo or some kind of black magic brings him back every single time. Granted, it's not just him doing it. He's got people helping him. Especially now. Now there's a cult. There's a goddamn cult of Chucky. Tiffany Valentine's hooked him up. Brad Dourif's real-life daughter, what was her name in the movie? I forget her name already. Anyway, she's in it. She's joined the cult now. Now she doesn't. Chucky's soul is inside of her. Charles Lee Ray's soul is inside her body. For spoiler alert for people who haven't seen Cult yet. But anyway, so that's his thing. Weapon of choice. I guess it's kind of a mix between black magic. But he's a big fan of the old kitchen knife. Oh, and I guess multiple Chuckies, because he knows now how to transfer the essence of his soul into another doll. So OG Chucky, he's just kind of a head in Andy's safe, but there's still like 20 of them out there. There's 3 or 4, but there could be 20. That's the whole thing. Like, you can really have an army of Chuckies, so that's pretty good. Weaknesses. He's just small. I mean, literally, he got trapped into like a playpen, and Bride just locked him in a playpen. That's it. Didn't take much. You can literally just put him down. Also in Bride, they put him in a tiger trap. Like, there's a big hole, and he falls into it. Oh, it's a grave. It's a grave. But still, yeah, he falls, and he can't get out. It's adorable seeing him run around like, I can't get out. Help me out. It's like, yep, that's it. He's great. I love Chucky, but he isn't going to make it to the next one. Like, he dies every one, but, like everybody else, he comes back. But, it seems like it'd be easy to overpower him. He does have the power of stealth, and the fact that he is small, he can hide on you. But I'm thinking face-to-face, inside the ring, he ain't got shit. He ain't got shit. Sorry, this ain't going to happen. Once again, he's a little guy, so he tries a little harder. Like, he gets a little bit more vicious on you, and he'll cut your throat, buddy. He will cut your throat. Up next, we got Jigsaw from the Saw series. We mentioned that earlier. Now, to be fair, Jigsaw is only featured alive in the first 3, if I'm not mistaken. And he dies. Spoiler alert, sorry. But he comes back via flashbacks in like every one of them. Don't know if he's going to be back in a Spiral or not. I hope so. But, I don't know what you can do with him at this point, though. I feel like we've already told his entire story. There's enough flashbacks now that we're covered. And Tobin Bell's getting older. Like, unless we find out he faked his death or he has a twin brother, which I don't care. That sounds ridiculous, but I'd be down for it. So, because Tobin Bell's a great guy. I met him. Real good guy. Anyways, sidetrack, sorry. So, first 3 Saw movies, this dude's out there. Clearly, his strengths, he's a genius. He makes these ridiculous convoluted plans and traps, and they all work, no matter what. And he's able to employ the help of others. So even when you think, like, he's dead, people are still carrying on his work well after his death. And not just that, but he will test the people who are working for him, because... say he's all for morality and he's all, he's going for the morals. He's a bit sadistic. He's a sadistic fuck. But, that's how you get your lesson across, I suppose. Weapon of choice, traps. They do the whole, like, he doesn't hurt anybody. But it's like, yeah, you put him inside the fucking cage or the lock or the trap or whatever. You're hurting him. So, not just traps, but he also has, like, ether and knockout gas, because, that. But, yeah, I guess his main weapon is definitely going to just be intelligence. Overall. Weaknesses, cancer. Not to make light of the subject, but yeah, it pretty much fucking does him in. Like, he's an old, frail man. Those 3 movies. Literally hanging on to life, barely. They'll remove the tumor in part 3, but then he gets his head blown off. Or no, the guy shoots him, that's what it was. The guy shoots him, and then the girl had the collar of all the shotgun shells, and it blows her head off. That's what it was. But once I've seen them, and I'm not gonna lie, they're all great. I love the Saw franchise, but they do kind of bleed together sometimes. So yeah, he's an old man. He's very intelligent, but I mean, he's a man. He's mortal. There's no black magic bringing him back. The only supernatural element about him, I guess, is the fact that, like, you assume it's him. Like, even after he's dead, you're like, my God, it's Jigsaw, and it's like, no, it's not. It's some guy named Matt or something. He's doing it, not Jigsaw. So there you have it. Who do you think wins the match between Chucky and Jigsaw? I mean, once again, you can pick, your favorite, or you can just, you can map it out for me. And I do love stories everybody's been pretty good about, give me a little scenario. You don't have to be ridiculously long, just a little scenario, little 4-line synopsis there, but, does Chucky fuck his world up, get up behind him, just knife him? I feel like that'd be the easiest thing. Or does Jigsaw just, he's anticipating, knows he's coming, so it sets a trap for him. And then once he's in the trap, he has to teach Chucky like a life lesson, and Chucky, of course, will fail it, and then he'll get ripped apart by chains and other kinds of bear traps or some kind of bullshit. It'd be insane. It would be insane, but I can't wait to hear what everybody says here. So, there you have it. Chucky versus Jigsaw. Put your winners down. All right, so upcoming horror films. This upcoming weekend, we got the, the sequel to The Boy, which has been they had it with the release date out for a year now, maybe more, and it keeps getting pushed back for whatever reason. I remember it was supposed to come out last year, and then we kept waiting for it, and it just got pushed back. It's called Brahms, The Boy 2. In this movie, a family moves into Hillshire Mansion. Is that a thing? I feel like they keep saying it's Hillshire Mansion, I should know it, it has some the Amityville house or something, does it have historical value? I'm an idiot. Tell me, please, if I don't know what Hillshire Mansion is. And I have a phone that has Google on. I can literally type it in right now and look it up. I'm lazy, too. So if Hillshire has any kind of significant value, let me know right now. Anyway, the family moves in there, and, of course, the little boy finds the boy, the doll. And, of course, it becomes his new best friend, but then now fucked up shit happens. And, it's The Boy. The Boy was a very pleasantly surprising movie back in the day. When I watched it, and I say back in the day, it was 4 years ago. But anyways, 2016 when I saw The Boy, because I was expecting supernatural ghost stuff, and I mean, once again, you've been watching this show, you know how I feel. It takes, if you're going to do supernatural horror or ghostly stuff, you better be fucking awesome. And 9 times out of 10, it's just not. There's a ton of movies that just suck dick, and so The Boy, I was expecting to be the same way. My girlfriend Angel wanted to watch it, so I was like, whatever, we'll watch it. But when I said I watched it, it makes you think, and I mean, spoiler alert right now, if you don't want to see this, skip ahead a minute, because I'm going to spoil The Boy for you. But in The Boy, you assume it's going to be ghostly. In fact, they play it up like it's a supernatural. And then you find out, nope, it was this young man who has been living in the walls his entire life. I say young, he's massive. He looks like fucking, he's not the size of Tyler Mane from Halloween, the Rob Zombie version, he's just big and hulking. But anyways, he's been living in the walls, and he's mentally unstable because he was a child when he lived there, and he just hasn't, no one's really guided him. And so anyway, he was the killer in the walls that was taking people out and everything. But he's connected to that doll, in his mind, it's the doll represents him. I don't know. I don't get the significance of the doll now that I'm actually thinking about it. But anyways, but that was it. And I'll be honest with you, I've only seen that movie once. I liked it. Not seen it twice, but I don't remember how it ends. I don't know if the boy dies or not. I want to say there was a fire. This is really sad. Anyways, but part 2, new family moves in, and they're not showing the guy in the wall. And once again, they're making it like it's, once again, supernatural. So it's is it really going to be the guy's soul in the doll now? And now it's going to be spooky, ghostly stuff? Or did he just move to Hillshire Mansion before his family got there? He's just hey, there's some walls here that I can get behind him. Yeah, this is going to work out just fine. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm intrigued. I'll check it out. It probably won't be a theater watch, but it'll definitely be check it streaming or, rent it or something like that. But yeah, I'll check it out. I'm curious to see what the reviews are going to be like for that. But if you guys watch it, or if you've maybe already seen it, by the time this, you get around this video, let me know what you think. Comment section down below. But guys, it's time to get to the main event. Time to go back to 1984 for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course, we all know the story. Young Nancy and her friends are all having nightmares of this child killer who the parents decided to get rid of back in the day, but now he come back in the form of Dream Master. Is he Dream Master? That's a subtitle for part 5, I think, but I don't remember what the Dream Master... No, part 4, sorry. Sorry, don't give me the hate comments, sorry. Part 4. But was he the Dream Master or was the girl? It doesn't matter. He got dream powers. He's a dream demon. And he gets you in your nightmares. Of course, if you die in your dreams, you die in real life. Bum, bum, bum. This is classic. I mean, in every sense of the word, I love this movie. I remember, so when I was a kid, when I was a kid, like I said, early on, I watched The Shining, I watched Jaws, And I mean, I don't remember what other horror movies I watched around that time, but horror just always really attracted me. And so I remember when I was a kid, I was watching one of the Friday 13th with my uncle, and it wasn't even the first one. It was just like fucking 7 or some shit. And I was just like, oh, wow, like, this is insane. And it just opened the door to, and even now, you consider these the big three, but he was talking about, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday 13th. Those are your big three. And the idea that there's this whole, like, each serial killer had their own mythology. They had their own legacy. There's numerous movies dedicated to these one killers. And I'm just like, that's awesome, And so, with, and I won't go to all, but, with all of them, I kind of came in on a different movie. With Halloween, it was part 6 of all things. I got a late start. I was like 8 when I watched that one. But I watched it, or no, I was older now. I was probably like 10. But either way, I got a late start on the Halloween series. But with the Nightmare on Elm Street, that was one I started from part 1 and worked my way through it. And just remember, like, thinking, like, this is fucking terrifying. Like, when you're a kid, it's like, holy shit. Like, you're supposed to be safe when you sleep, and, here it is. What I really, I love just the look of these films. And not just the first one, but, the entire Nightmare franchise. Because I just love that when someone's asleep, and they try to play it off like maybe they're not asleep, but there's always those subtle clues. Like, they'll go through it, they'll turn into a hallway, you'll see, like, some leaves in the house, and you're like, well, wait a minute, there shouldn't be leaves in there. Or they'll open the door, and there's, like, a boiler room downstairs. Like, every house on Elm Street has a boiler room in the basement. And not just, like, a regular boiler room. I mean, this thing's like a labyrinth of fucking tubes and pipes and steam and metal. But I always love the look of these things. And then, once again, you got Freddy, as a very unique at the time. And even since then, there's been numerous rip-off movies that's tried to do the same thing. Mostly low budget, but still, it's like they are all trying to cash in on the Freddy Krueger thing. But it's like he's in his own little world. Like, at that point, it's 84. We've already went through the big slasher boom of, 80, 81, or 82 even. It's like 83 is when they start kind of cutting back a little bit. Like, Hollywood's cracking down, especially the MPAA cracking down on slasher films. But at that point, the slasher movies, they all had a formula, but for the most part, like, yes, the killer kept coming back. Maybe you could attribute it to a little bit supernatural or whatever, but for the most part, it was all based in reality. It's the first time we're bringing the dream world into it all. And I think, to me, I was just like, holy shit. Like, it was different. It was new and it was unique. The movie itself, I think, was very relatable. I mean, as an adult watching these movies, it is kind of hard to remember what it's like to be a kid sometimes. The parents are always against you. You're always like, you're always, you're outnumbered, you're outvoted, it just, no matter what, the parents always, and here, it's like the classic, like, the parents clearly don't know what the fuck's going on, the kids do, and of course, as an adult, now you're looking back like, your kids don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Well, you're a kid, you think you do, and this is a perfect movie that really, I think, explains that. It really does, it's a great example of, the kids who, unfortunately, because they're kids, or teenagers, no one believes them, no one's willing to help them out, even when the bodies start piling up. Her dad's just like, just go get some sleep. That's their answer. Everybody just is worried about sleep in this movie, which I think is just brilliant. Without going through this thing blow by blow, or, going into, like, why Wes Craven's a great director, and, the acting. Look, I'm saying some of my favorite parts, and then we'll move on, because, once again, classics like these, there is no need for over analyzing any of this stuff. I'll tell you one thing about this movie that I really love, that we're, from my perspective, is that when you're a kid, you don't see the formula of a slasher movie. Like, as an adult, you're going to have your main character, regardless of who that's going to be, girl, boy, whatever, you got your main character, and they're going to be the ones that's going to make it to the end. Now, at the end, all bets are off, they'll either live or die, but they're going to make it to the end. But you can always tell they're going to get picked off one by one, and you can usually tell who's going to go first, and all that stuff. But at this age, I didn't know the formula, or at least I thought I maybe knew the formula. But I remember the first time I watched it, because the first scene is with Tina, I assumed she was the main character. And so I remember as a kid, when Tina dies early on in the movie, thinking, holy shit! Like, her friends are the ones that survive and move on. She's the one that dies first. And I just remember thinking, like, holy crap. And I mean, like I said, I don't know now if I would have watched it today, because now you watch it, it seems so obvious that Nancy's the good girl, she's the main one. But it's like, I don't know. As a kid, I didn't see that coming, so it really did kind of throw me off completely. I was really shocked when that happened. we should mention Johnny Depp. Introducing Johnny Depp in this movie. It's just great to see him. Also know that he's going to blow up and become fucking Johnny Depp, which is just insane. I always love when big stars start off in like really shitty slasher movies. Not that this is a shitty slasher movie. This is great, but like you do see this in other instances where it's like wow, that's a movie that didn't duplicate anything. Like it sucked, but that guy would go on and become a big star. So we're all good there. And it's just kind of funny to see that. Why this movie works and why the remake didn't work. For whatever reason you want to say, whether if it was everybody just hates remakes in general, or that it felt soulless and clearly a cash grab. For me, it's always going to go back to real versus CGI. And I know that's a tired argument, and people roll their eyes. They're going, well, it's a different age, Daniel, and it's just cheaper to do CGI. And I'm like, well, fine, I get it, I guess, but it's like, it takes you out of the movie. Here, there's not a lick of CGI because they couldn't afford it if they wanted to. And everything looks real, and for that, it makes it better. I can translate better to screen. All the fire, when the guy's on fire, it's really a guy on fire. It's not a guy running around with CGI flames on him. When Freddy's coming through the wall, that's really physically a rubber wall that he's actually going through. If she was to reach up, she can touch him on the head. He's really there. Not this weird cartoon that pops out. It's like, I'm slashing her away. I don't know. I feel like when I'm watching, I just kind of watching the movie, I'm thinking like, why does this work and the new one doesn't? It's like, yes, the new one looked good. I mean, visually it looked good. The camera looked clean, but it's just like, there's no soul to it. It really is a glossy robot at the end of the day. Like in this movie, has all the heart and soul you can think of in it. I mean, it literally is just, I don't know, it's fucking awesome. And Robert Englund, like he did, I mean, they in this one, later he would go on to become more of a comedian and start, cracking wise and blah, blah, blah. But like here, it's just, he's sinister and he's just looking to kill. Even though he's fucking clumsy as fuck. Wes Craven, he just loves his villains to be able to trip over themselves as they're chasing people and just ridiculously, like, especially when he's in the real world, he's just like, it's just funny. It's just funny how he's just constantly, like, swinging and missing and falling over himself. It's also funny, the editing in this thing, too, when Nancy, she goes to booby trap the house, and first she tells her dad on the phone, like, the dad's downstairs over in Glenn's house, Johnny Depp, and she's just like, I'm going to get Fred Krueger. And it's after midnight. Like, at midnight was when Johnny Depp dies. So I guess the cops get there. So it's probably about 12:15-ish or so. But she's just like, hey, by the way, I'm going to get Freddy Krueger, blah, blah, blah. So, hangs up the phone. And then she does all these booby traps. They do a whole montage of her booby trapping the house. And then after it's done, she still has 10 minutes to go because she's like, be here at 12:30. And it's like, that was fast. But then we cut back to him after she's been doing all of this. He's just now making his way up the stairs. I'm just like, wow, what was you doing that whole time? Like, just staying down there like, I'll go up there later. I know I'm going to see some blood and guts. I don't want to go up there yet. And I love the guy, whenever, he tells the one, deputy or whatever, he's just like, hey, watch my daughter's house. Anything weird happens, you come and get me. And he's like, what do you mean by weird? He's like, I don't know. But just, if something happens, come and get me. So she opens up the window. She's screaming, hey, he's in here. I got him. He's like, go back to sleep. Everything's fine. And then she runs downstairs. He gets away from him and everything. And then she breaks out the front window. And she's yelling. We don't see a reaction shot there. But then when she goes to the front door window and she breaks it out and she's screaming like, hey, help. It's like he's still looking at her. So that means he saw the first window too. Or the door window when she broke it out. And then here, when she's hitting the bars like, help me, he's in here. He's like, maybe I should go get, John Saxton. It's great. John Saxton, by the way, fucking phenomenal. I love that guy. That guy's just awesome. Is he still around? Is he still alive? I don't know. I hope he is. He doesn't get enough work if he is, because my God, the dude is just always brilliant. This, Black Christmas, dude's just great. What was the Argento movie he did? Oh, fuck. Getting sidetracked and making me look like a fool, so I'll pull out gracefully. Anyway, but yeah, dude's awesome in this. So yeah, this movie would go on to grow, or to spin off, to spawn. Word I was looking for. We're going to spawn its own franchise. They would do 7 films in the initial little movies. With the 7th film being the weird one. easily the second best in the franchise, but it's the one that's like breaking the fourth wall and it gets very meta. Whereas 1 through 6 is all tied together or somewhat tied together. Part 7 was like, no, these were all movies, and here's a movie about us making the next movie, which Freddy pops out of and starts killing, which is still great, but it really is just kind of like, wow, you guys really did just kill any shot of there being a coherent plot through all of this. But then they kind of erase that one, and then they bring in Freddy vs. Jason, the crossover movie, which I always kind of look at as like the regular Part 7, because they definitely go back and show you footage from the previous ones. And then, of course, we get the remake in 2010, which just killed everything. There was rumors that there was going to be a remake. First, it was talking like Kevin Bacon was going to want to step in and be, Freddy Krueger. Oh, it would be great, love to see what he'd bring to the table. But now, even after years of Robert Englund going, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I will never do another Freddy Krueger movie. Now he's saying like, yeah, I'll do another one. It's like, yeah, I'm sure that paycheck's going to change your mind or whatever. Well, you might say he's just in for the money, but it's just like, really, like, what changed your mind between now and then? But maybe he just realized like these are ones that we get done. Like the only way they're going to make another one is if he comes back. But yeah, we're definitely open for him to do another one and everything else. Another thing I think was kind of interesting about this movie, and I don't know what anybody else thinks about this, but in this movie, there's a lot of moments that kind of make you wonder, like, well, is this still the dream world? Like, how's Freddy doing this in reality? She even kind of brings him back, and and so it makes you wonder, like, how much was a dream? And I got the bold theory that I think after Glenn's death, or right before Glenn's death, and she gets on the phone, I think she already fell asleep right there. I think from that point on till the end of the movie, past the credits, was all a dream. So her pulling back out, her dad coming over there, I think all that was a dream. I think Glenn gets his, and then the rest of it is just in her head. Because once again, when the mom dies, or caught on fire or whatever, she like drops down into the bed, and there's all this mist and everything, and then Freddy comes out, and yeah. But it's like, even prior stuff to that, like Freddy's mouth in the phone, which is supposed to be her awake, once again, how does he do it? It's a dream. So I don't know. Whenever I watch these movies, right when it gets to the point where they're trying to come up with the final plan before she bootstraps the house and everything, it's just nope. That's it. Literally, she's already asleep, and what happens happens. So, but I don't know what everybody else thinks about that. Because I've had conversations with other people, and they're like, oh no, like it's straddled on that line, or it's kind of still in the dream world, but she's away. But, for me, I'm just like, nope. Everything from that point on, dream. But yeah, it is what it is. So that's all I got. Like I said, guys, Nightmare on Elm Street, a horror classic. If you have not seen it, you're an idiot. I will tell you that to your face. I know we live in a community where it's just like, well, you respect everybody's opinion. No, if you have not seen a Nightmare on Elm Street, you're an idiot. You shouldn't even be watching my channel. You can go watch the movie, then come back, and we love you. Give us a thumbs up. Anyways, but no, classic movie. Check it out. That's all I got. Guys, thank you for joining me for another horror movie review. I'm Daniel, and catch you next time. Oh, shit. Didn't always run, sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube. Go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom. $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh, yeah. So, that's all we... Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? God, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.